I grew my coaching business from $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $42,000, I think was my peak month. Um, and it's probably not the way that you think. All I did, and before I even say that, the voice that might come is, yeah, but your niche, or yeah, but that, like, no. Let go of any reason why this can't be you. And hear me when I say all I did was the simple things and got very good at the simple things. That's it. I didn't have a website. I didn't have an email sequence. I didn't have a Kajabi course or anything like this. I just really focused on what's important. Caring about the client, connecting with prospects. That's it. That's really it. So how do we connect with prospects? This seems to be the place where most people get stuck, is creating content that's clear, that someone that isn't you can understand what it is specifically that they help you with. So if I look at the biggest, especially in the life coaching space, energy healing is a little bit different. But in the life coaching space, no, maybe it's not that different. Most people have an offer like, I help you connect to your purpose, or I'll help you have a better life. And it's like, what does that mean? I can't visualize if someone says, hey, I'm a life coach, I help people have a better life. I can't think of someone. I couldn't even refer someone to that person if I wanted to. I don't know really what that means. Where if someone was specific and said, you know what, I help women who are going through a divorce reconnect to their power and set themselves up to have a more beautiful relationship. In my mind, I can be like, oh, Suzanne just went through a divorce. Maybe this is what she needs. Like, I can actually see someone that I know and connect that offer to it. So when we say, or when you hear like niching down and things like this, it's just being able to communicate in a way where someone can actually visualize it and not just this vague offer like, hey, come work with me and your life will be better. Like, it's so vague that no one's going to be motivated for that. And you're not connecting to any problem that someone has. There's no problem actually being solved. So what problem are you solving? This happens a bit in the energy healing space as well. Um, the perk of the energy healing space is if you're good at it, you tend to get a lot of referrals. Um, but like, just be able. So when I did energy healing, my focus was, and that's why I was not as good at marketing as I am now. Um, it was helping someone to see themselves more honestly, and there was different kind of avenues that I would express that to help someone see that. Still a little bit vague if I'm looking at it through the lens now, right? Still like, what does that really mean to see yourself more honestly? Like, you want to be able to speak in a way that someone really understands who it is that you're helping. And that doesn't limit you from helping other people, but it makes it really clear who it is that you're focused on helping. So again, back to the basics, especially when I said like no website, just through social media. It's because I actually had a plan. Most people don't. I know it sounds so silly, but it's like, if you ask yourself, how does someone go from a stranger on the internet to a paid client? And you're like, oh, I'll just post a lot and talk to people. Then it's going to be really hard for you to improve the skills and be efficient at that. Because you don't really know. It's kind of like the spaghetti at the wall approach, where when you have a plan, like, this is how people come into my world, this is how they get nurtured, this is, then I start conversations with them and I figure out, what's causing them pain, how to move them forward, and then I bring them into the sales process. You need a bit of structure in that sense, or at least a bit of idea of what it is that you're doing. Again, this is speaking from I remember when I first started out reaching out to someone who now is a past client of mine, and we were both kind of starting our business at the same time, and we were in the conversation. She told me later, she actually flew down to Paraguay to work with me for a month for me to help her grow her business. And she told me she remembers that first conversation, and in her mind, she was like, I didn't know if this was just a friendship, if you were going to sell me something, if I should sell you something. And that was the same approach I had in the conversations too. It was just as limited as I'm starting a business, I should talk to people. There was no frameworks, there was no direction. And that was okay. Like it got me, it was better than doing nothing. Um, but certainly it wasn't going to bring me 10K a month or anything like this, and wasn't going to reach the level of impact that I wanted to have in a sustainable and consistent and reliable way. So who is it that you're helping? Can you convey that? Can you give value to these people? Where do these people hang out? Where do you find them? How can they be aware that you even exist? And that's a lot of strategy when you're just first starting out too, that people are just like, I'll just post and people will find me. Probably not, you know? If for example, this YouTube channel is new. I love it, by the way. I'm really loving this. If I relied on that for having the impact that I wanted to have, or, you know, to be able to even generate enough money to pay the bill, it would not be possible. I have no control. Like, this is in the future, an audience will be built, but right now, it's just, that's the spaghetti on the wall approach. I can't just do a video and expect this to find the right person and that they like come to me, which is what I think a lot of people's approach is. And maybe they're not saying it out loud, but their actions certainly are. Where are these communities that you can give value to and position yourself in a way so that they know how much you can help them? Like, that's what selling is. Selling isn't taking someone's money in exchange for something that they don't want. Selling is being able to help someone so deeply that they exchange energy, exchange money for that service, right? So just focus on doing the basics really, really well. If you're first starting out, like, the color of your website doesn't really matter. Having a business card, you know, probably, especially if you're focusing on building your business online, business card's probably not going to do a whole lot. Like, you can just, if you're talking to someone, you can, hey, pass me your phone and follow me on Instagram, right? Or whatever social you're using. So let go of the idea of what a standard business is supposed to look like and ask yourself, what is that flow of someone going from a stranger to a paid client? And are the actions that you're consistently taking supporting that flow? And that's the only reason, you know, I had a website and I was like, this is actually an extra step and makes this more complicated for someone to work with me. So I removed it because I just looked at what is that flow? What is the path that someone goes down to feel compelled to have my support? And a website didn't help with that. So I got rid of the noise of the things that didn't assist in that and doubled down on the basics of what really helps for that journey. What is that structure and what does that require of me? So I hope that helps. I see so many people first starting out spending so much time in all the wrong directions, and sometimes it's from that confusion, and a lot of time it is resistance in a way of like kind of tricking yourself into doing something productive when deep down you know that that's not it. But you can say, yeah, I worked on my business, when the truth is you were working on things that you knew wouldn't move the needle forward. And then you can feel safer that way. Again, possibly talking from past experiences in my own life. Definitely. And also speaking on behalf of what I see so consistently over working with hundreds of clients one-on-one over the past 5 years. So I'll leave it at that. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.